Welcome to It Happened in Grand Prairie, Texas, as we bring you the history of our city of Grand Prairie, Texas, and some of the people that have made history in the past, and also are making history even this very day. We are extremely excited today for our history tape number 620. 620 is a magic number for our interview with a very special lady and her very special guest. Dr. Susan Simpson, the superintendent of the Grand Prairie Independent School District, has agreed today to be our guest to let's talk a little bit about a whole year's anniversary and some personal things. Dr. Simpson, we are so delighted to welcome you.
Thrilled to be here. Very happy to get to come again.
You know, it's been a year, hasn't it?
It's amazing. It has been a year.
A lot of things, water has gone onto the bridge, or some bridge, hasn't it?
Some bridge. It's been very quick.
And you have your beautiful daughter, a full-fledged Aggie with us today, that's already in the way into the building today to tape this show, has been greeted by all sorts of Longhorns and others. And we have just been so excited because we have with us today Lacey Lacey. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Lacey, you beautiful young lady, how wonderful for you to come and be with us today to substantiate some of the things about the personal life of a lady that we have really learned to love, appreciate, and really we think that she is just so exciting that we almost call her a superintendent.
Well, I think she is pretty super.
And don't you? Have you ever been classified as a superintendent yet?
Only by you, and I love it.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that we got the right message too. Dr. Simpson, it's really wonderful to have you back, and I know you've had a good year.
We've had a very, very good year.
Because you're alive and well.
Because I get to come back. Yes. We've had a great year.
That's a great year.
When I was here a year or so ago, I had an inkling that we had some really top quality administrators and teachers in this district, and now I have proof that we do.
Yes, you do.
You know that we got our preliminary tax scores back, and not that those tax scores are the most important thing in a school district, but it is the measure that the state uses.
Yes, it is.
Let us know if we're adding value to students, if we are teaching the curriculum that's required by the state of Texas. Our principals and our teachers blew the top out of it this year. We ended up with these preliminary results, to the best of our calculations, with 11 recognized campuses, with 2 exemplary campuses, and with no academically unaccepted campuses. And we're very pleased. We still have a long way to go, but what that shows us is that we added value to our students. What the ratings don't show you is that we have a number of other campuses that progressed tremendously.
Yes.
And one example is Fannin. Fannin isn't going to have a banner out front that says recognized, but they made huge gains, and that means that kids are the winner.
Yes. Yes, and the teachers are too.
The teachers work so hard.
They have a little victory there. It may not be as much of a victory as they had wished for, but the fact that they have made a step up the ladder, isn't that exciting?
They should be very, very proud, and I know they are. They've celebrated, but the teachers and principals in this district should be very proud. And of course, it was the kids who did it. The parent support is tremendous.
Yes.
And on all of our campuses, elementary especially, we have strong PTAs. And the number one factor when you look at students and their achievement is the involvement of their parents.
All right. Now you're teaching parents as well as you're teaching teachers and students. You have a whole step ladder of different areas that you're responsible. Not necessarily always, but in this particular town, you're evaluating and helping parents more than they have ever received in the past, in my opinion.
We hope so, and of course I know that you know Esmeralda Rodriguez and some of the other people in the district who work primarily with the parents and with the community liaisons. And one of the things we want parents to know is Our parents don't have to have college degrees to help
No.
their kids.
No.
They don't even have to have specific knowledge about subjects. They just have to be there, support them, encourage them, and believe in them. And that's the number one thing. They have to believe in their kids.
Yes, they do. And not only that, they have to spend time and brag on their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's really hard to brag on your kids when they don't meet every mark that you think that ought to be perfect. But, oh, wasn't that sweet?
Well, this one's perfect, of
This
course.
this one's perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe, yes. She may not have been even in the past.
Oh,
but,
I don't
but
remember any of that.
You have worked toward that, haven't you? That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm going to get with her in a few minutes and let her evaluate my superintendent from a personal standpoint, with your permission.
Okay.
But I was so glad that you got the ladder together so that you could climb on top of the Sally Moore School and do an exemplary thing that had never been done in Grand Prairie, Texas. And if that didn't make the mark of PR top notch.
Now, that was all that campus. That was Linda Ellis and Cheryl Horton, and of course Sally Moore and Colin Powell are our two exemplary campuses.
Oh, isn't that great?
And Linda, Ms. Ellis, and Ms. Horton told the kids at the beginning of the year or sometime in the fall that if they were exemplary, that their principals would spend the night on the roof.
And they did.
And they did, but not only did they spend the night on the roof, they spent a couple of months showing the kids that they meant it.
Yes.
All of a sudden, one day in January, there was a tent set up in the hall and a sign that said, "Put your principals on the roof." Then the next day, there were sleeping bags in the tents. And then the next day, a campfire. And so they built the enthusiasm and they built the excitement, but what they were really doing was establishing an expectation.
Yes.
So every day when students and parents came in the door, the expectation was visual in front of them.
Yes.
And students don't know what they can do until we believe in them and allow them to do it.
Yes.
But our students are as brilliant and talented as any place in the state.
Yes.
They go to college and they're successful, and all we have to do is give them those opportunities.
Yes. And brag on them a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes. We all need that encouragement, don't we? You've had a spectacular year in beautiful, beautiful sites and campuses. Oh, the Hobbs Williams new elementary school. Not only that, how about the old Winn-Dixie? You know, they transitioned a food line into the Ruthie Jackson Center, and now a Winn-Dixie into a wonderful campus. What's this going to be like?
This is, I am so grateful to our school board for the vision that they allow us to develop. This is an accelerated high school. Tomorrow night at the board meeting, I'm going to ask the board, and of course nothing is official until the board votes, but I'll ask them to name it Crosswinds High School. And the idea behind crosswinds, if you've ever been out in West Texas, the winds blow across the prairie.
Yes.
And those winds are very challenging. They can be harsh, but they also
can be gentle,
and they can also make you feel a sense of freedom.
Yes.
Well, there is not anything that can set a person free the way an education can.
That is true.
It's why I want these girls to go to college, because it's the most freedom you can have to be able to set your own course and to create your own future. So this accelerated high school will be open to our current high school students who are overage for their grade level, who don't have the credits to graduate on time. For example, we have several students who are 15 and 16 years old and they're still in the 8th grade.
That's all right.
And for whatever reason, whatever unforeseen circumstances occurred in their lives that created that situation for them, when they move into the 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, they can apply to go to Crosswinds High School, our accelerated school of choice, and do exactly what it says, accelerate their education so that they can graduate closer to on time. Because if a student is 17 years old and they're in the 9th grade, and they're looking at 4 more years of school, it's very,
That's
very
tough.
difficult
That's tough.
for them to stay in a traditional public high school for 4 years.
And feel good about themselves.
Exactly, but
Yes.
they may be able to go to the accelerated high school and graduate in 2.5 years.
Oh, yeah.
And we want the schedule to be very, very flexible. We are hoping to bring back older students who have dropped out up to age 26, and we would even consider older students. But if a student is 23 years old, or if a young adult is 23 years old and they dropped out of high school in the 11th grade, either from Grand Prairie or
Wherever.
South or Bowie High School
Yeah.
or a high school in another town, they can come back, enroll, and finish high school. We'll run 2 sessions because a lot of our students and a lot of our young people have to work. Can't survive. We have a lot of students who help out their families, and it's very necessary for those families. So we'll run a morning shift where you'll get out of school before lunchtime, and then you can go to work. And we'll also run an afternoon shift for people who need to work in the mornings.
You're making it so convenient they can't turn it down,
It's
can they?
very, very individualized. Students who are interested, or anyone who's interested, needs to call the secondary education office at the Ed Center, come in for a little interview, a little orientation, do some paperwork. If the student is under 18, the parent needs to come as well. And we can set them up so that they have a very individualized plan and work toward graduating much, much earlier so that they can get on with their lives. College, military, work,
Whatever.
any of those things. We think it will be especially convenient for our students who are already parents.
That's
So
good.
we will have, and I don't know the date of this yet, but we'll have a tent event
Good.
at some point in the near future. We'll set up a big tent on the parking lot of the site, which is right off of Carrier and close to I-30. Carrier and Tarrant,
Yes.
I believe, are the 2 closest intersections. And we'll have open enrollment at
That's
that point.
That's
Now, and by open enrollment, I mean the students do need to be residents of the school district of Grand Prairie.
Yes.
But if they quit school or unenrolled from some other district, we'll still accept them.
You'll,
And of course, it's a
Okay.
public school, it's tuition free, and
that's good.
so we're really, really excited about that. That opens this school year.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, I need to get Lacey
Okay.
into this act a little bit. Lacey, what do you think about a mom that is so well versed and has been so well accepted that she was chosen as the outstanding superintendent in the state of Texas, and then she gave up that wonderful place and came over to a place that was in bad trouble as a school district? And since you are an A&M student, a wonderful Aggie, I thought maybe you'd just like to tell us a little bit what it's like to be the daughter of a mom that is so spectacular.
Well, sometimes it's a little intimidating.
I was hoping you would say that.
It is. It's, kind of, you're not in the shadow, but you have very high expectations, and
Yes.
of course it works the same way. We have high expectations of her because,
Yes, you do.
yeah, of course, you know what she can do, so why not? And but you're really proud. You can't help but be, because not many women who raise 3 kids on her own and can
Yes.
be
Just be perfect.
just be absolutely perfect. That's a great word.
Yeah.
That's a great word.
You're pushing it there a little bit.
Now, you mentioned 3 in the family.
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you have a brother and a sister also?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you name them, please,
I
Lacey?
have an older sister. Her name's Erin.
Where is Aaron?
Erin is graduating from Texas A&M in August.
How marvelous.
Yes.
Yes.
And
What a
she'll-
forerunner for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And I have a little brother, Seth, and he is going to be a senior at South Grand Prairie High School.
How wonderful.
Yes.
Yes. Going to be a warrior.
He is.
Yes.
He loves it over there.
That's wonderful.
So.
And how are you enjoying A&M now that you're going to lose your sister there?
Well, it's going to be my first year at A&M alone.
Yes.
First time not to have any kind of family there, so that's going to be different.
Yes.
Not good, not bad. But I'm really excited to be going back. I love it.
We're so excited to have you on the set today, to be able to bring a more of a reality to a lady that is so well respected and highly thought of in Grand Prairie and all of her school circles, even throughout the state. And we're glad to know someone that's kin to her. Isn't that great?
It is great.
Yes, isn't that great?
I enjoy being kin to her.
Yes. And of all the things that she's told you, what do you think is the most exciting thing that's happened to her this year?
Oh, that's happened to her this year.
Yes.
I don't know. This show?
Yes.
I was pretty excited about this show. I'm not but
that's good.
yeah, and
That's
all
a
the
good
new
answer.
schools opening up, those are really exciting. You know, you come home and she just talks and talks and talks and talks about them.
Oh, that is wonderful.
We need to do some drive-bys, don't we?
Yes,
Yes.
we always do the drive-bys. Every time we're about to be close to passing a school, let's just drive by it.
Let's
Mom,
drive-
we
see-
drove by
see-
it this morning. Please, let's just do it one more time.
One more
Okay.
time. Oh, that's so good. Madam Superintendent, I think it's wonderful that you have one that's graduating from A&M, one that even cares about going to A&M in her next year to finish at A&M, and a young son that you have under your wing sort of out at Warrior Land, and plus all of the other responsibility you have for how many boys and girls are under your umbrella of all of Grand Prairie ISD.
One of the things that I always think about when I make decisions for our students in the school system is just to apply the test. Is this a situation I want for my own children? Is this a teacher that my own child would go into that classroom? Is this the way I want my own child treated? And I came to that realization years and years ago.
You evaluated it in a
that-
special way, didn't you?
That if, you know, what I want for these three, and if we talk about accomplishments, the thing I'm most proud of are my three kids. They are
Yes.
fabulous, caring, independent adults, and they make good decisions, and I'm very, very proud of them. But what I want for all of our students is what I want for my own. I want them to have the best.
Yes.
It's like you want all of yours to have the best.
Yes.
And so if we just use that test when we make decisions about the school, then we'll be doing the right thing for all our kids.
We've talked about the accelerated high school, but you have another majestic high school,
We do.
a sort of career high school
Yes.
on 161 that is going up like gangbusters.
Yes.
Tell me about
Yes. John Dubisky Career High School. And I was by there today. I did a drive-by today. And they had poured the 4th level.
this. That is
and,
a miracle.
It's fabulous. It's an extremely well-designed educational facility.
With a swimming pool.
It does not have a swimming pool.
With a
we
fishing
do.
hole.
We do have a really nice drainage hole there,
Yes,
though.
yes. We're working on that.
And that will actually be dry.
Yes, it will.
And it'll be designed so that absorbs the drainage.
Yes.
But it'll be a dry pond. This career high school will be a comprehensive high school, meaning students
so
who
wonderful.
go there will not have to go back to their home campus to take English and math. The first couple of years, we will probably let juniors and seniors come there for the career prep and then go back to their home campuses. But after a 2-year period, students who come to Dubisky will stay at Dubisky for their entire program, other than if they are involved in athletics or cheerleading or band, they can go back to their home campus for that.
Oh, that's a great allowance.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
and experience in other districts tells us that about 10% of the students will do that.
Yes.
That the majority of the students who come to Dubisky are on a career track, they are going to be most interested in graduating from that high school with a certification or a license to enter the world of work, or with the prerequisites and possibly some college credit to move on forward in their career.
Yes.
And we'll have 5 different colleges or 5 different schools. For example, logistics and transportation.
Mm-hmm.
And so a part of logistics and transportation will be the logistics industry, because the freight
Yes.
business is huge
Yes,
in
it is.
DFW. We have a
And
number
growing.
of airports, and it's a very international business. We'll also have a facility that an auto tech facility where you might drive in and leave your car to have the oil changed, and while you're having your oil changed, you could go back over to the main building and have your hair cut. And when
lunch?
you get through with that, you can go downstairs and have lunch. And
Great.
if you don't have any money to pay for it, you could go over to the ATM and
Yes.
get some cash for lunch.
Or run another vending machine and get you some money out of that if you happen to
Exactly.
be in that business.
So we want the atmosphere of that facility to be a business world.
Yes.
And the students who come there are going to be entering a business, the world of business. And the expectation is that they behave in the manner that you behave in business, that they understand business etiquette, that they learn to be adults in the world of work. We will have opportunities for them to graduate with a certification or a license. We'll also have opportunities for them to just learn the basics of how you survive in the business world. And of course, as a comprehensive high school, we'll still offer advanced courses. We'll still offer, our music programs and our fine arts programs, and not to the competitive extent that we do at the 2 traditional high schools, but they'll have an opportunity for a complete curriculum.
That's wonderful.
It's very, very exciting.
Oh,
We're
that is
very excited
a
about it.
beautiful location, a magnificent show and tell place. That is really great.
Yeah.
Now, that's number 2. We've talked about 2, but you haven't talked about almost my favorite, and that's the Hobbs Williams Elementary.
Okay.
And joining another campus. That was the most clever thing you've ever done, was to put it next to the Arnold Middle School, and this Hobbs Williams Elementary. That's going to be exciting, and we brought a man to town that is so exuberant over that. And thank you all for
That was fun.
saluting a man that really is still here and can enjoy that.
Now, I can take no credit for the site selection.
Yes.
That's a perfect example of foresight
Of
by
the
the
board.
school board.
Uh-huh.
They had that site purchased and ready and waiting for the time it was needed. And that's part of what we want to continue to do with bond programs, is purchase school sites at today's prices so that future school boards can continue to meet the needs of the growing community. Hobbs Williams will be a beautiful school.
Yes.
It's very close to being turned over to us.
Yeah.
We have tried to do a good job of building a low maintenance facility. For example, when you go in, there's tile on most of the hallway walls.
Yes.
And so that won't have to be repainted. And when little ones run their hands over it and run their pencils over it and run their noses over it, then it can just be cleaned off.
Yes.
It has a good traffic flow pattern. We have a front and a back.
Yeah.
It's a very attractive building, and one of the things I like best about it, and we have some other facilities in the district that have this design as well, is it's very safe.
Yes.
Visitors who come into the front door must route through the office before they can go into the part of the building where the children are. And so we want to continue to build and retrofit our buildings that have that design, and then teach our kiddos that when somebody's standing outside a back door looking in saying open the door, that they say no and go get an adult.
Jean Nunez thinks she owns that school.
That she does think she owns that school, and you know what? I love that, because
Isn't that good?
if you have ownership
Yes.
then you'll make it the best.
Yes, yes. Oh, we're so looking forward because she has done such great things at the schools that she has been principal of, Indiana Preposition, but she is just a wonderful principal, and you have so many wonderful principals that do great things, not only for your schools and your school board, but for the city of Grand Prairie, Texas, because I can see through the different levels there, and it really makes me excited when I go to meetings for Keep Texas Beautiful, Keep America Beautiful, and I find your schools taking all of the awards.
Isn't that great?
And that just really happened to you recently.
That just happened.
That whole page, a fourth of a page in the newspaper that had the Grand Prairie Independent School District wins the Outstanding State Award. Now, that's only the second time that's ever been done, and this happened in your year. What do you think about that?
Again,
We have only 2 minutes and a half to finish this interview.
I wish I could take credit for that one too, but I can't.
You can't.
Those programs were in place, and all I can do is support them.
Yes, thank you for supporting.
The folks who take care of that do a phenomenal job, and they're teaching kids to be responsible.
That's right. Now, Lacey,
Yes, ma'am.
before we leave, I'm glad you were here. Thank you
glad
for
I got
being
to
here
come.
to salute your mom and to salute Grand Prairie ISD, because in a sense you do that when you'll come back to this place with your mom and go sightseeing of schools. I think that's a tribute to you, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you for letting me come here.
Yes, that's wonderful. And one last thing, do you want to say thank you to anyone in the about 2.5 minutes that we have left on this interview?
Just 2.5 minutes.
That's
I
all.
do want to tell you one other thing that's very exciting. Both of our senior high school principals, Joseph Showell and Vic Bridges, were selected from all the principals in the state of Texas to attend the Principal Institute at Harvard University.
How wonderful!
They each spent an entire week, a 37-hour week, doing training at Harvard with some of the greatest leadership minds in the nation.
Yes.
Only 100 principals from Texas were chosen, and 2 of them were ours.
2 of them were yours.
And I am just so appreciative to have the opportunity to come to Grand Prairie.
Yes.
My principals are phenomenal. The teachers are such hard workers. They care so much about the kids. The school board has been very, very supportive, and you know we've made numerous changes.
Yes.
But beyond the people at the school, the city of Grand Prairie has welcomed me, has welcomed my family, has welcomed my ideas.
And we've had joint meetings together.
We've had a joint meeting,
Yes,
and we'll
yes.
have more.
Yes.
And this entire community has met the challenge that has come with the changing student population.
Yes.
And the community leaders, the city leaders, are very, very tuned in to the impact that a good school system can have on the economy and the future of the community. And I'm very grateful that I don't have to do any kind of a sales pitch. So I started about halfway up that ladder when I got here because of that support.
Well, if Lacey and I could sing a concert, we would say happy anniversary to you, and it is a wonderful
Thank you.
anniversary. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for
and bringing
having me.
us up to date, and for enjoying a wonderful anniversary, your first in Grand Prairie, Texas.
Thank you so much.
It's
Ms.
been a
Ruthie.
godsend and a blessing, and you're riding on a Harley with the air hogs was my delight of the year. Thank you very much.
And I'm going to get you on the back of it soon.
One day soon. Thank you. And this is Ruthie Jackson reminding you that history is as we live and do, and that we document it correctly with the excitement of the day.